Books on Books on the Brain.
Welcome back to Books on the Brain, a podcast of books and nonsense. I'm Deirdre.
I'm Danielle.
And today we are joined by a very special guest. We are so excited to welcome Bridge back to the pod. Bridge Raymondo is currently the social media producer at CBC Books and is known on Book Talk as Bridge Likes Books. As a content creator and columnist for CBC's The Next Chapter, Bridget uses her platform to talk about her love of books across many genres, with an emphasis in reading about Asian, diasporic, and queer experiences. She currently lives in Toronto. Thank you so much for joining us, Bridge, on our very special Heated Rivalry episode.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I think I messaged you back within like 30 seconds of the request.
Yeah.
You were like, do you want to talk about Heated Rivalry for an hour? And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
I'm so excited to be back. Hi, guys.
There was no one else.
No one else.
Thank you. I'm honored.
You have cultivated truly a beautiful space on the internet of heights of Heated Rivalry obsession.
I've made it my brand in the past 6 months. It's taken over.
But it's so beautiful. Yes, as it should. It is beautiful. How's everybody doing this fine summer day?
Okay, have you guys been following the trademark thing?
Yes.
This week?
For anybody
that is unaware, what?
I said
unaware.
Oh, sorry. We both said words at the same time. We're talking at the same time. Danielle, shut up.
A creator called Ali Roseco, I think. I've seen so many takes on their actual handle on Threads. I think I've actually forgotten what their original handle is. They have decided to trademark Hot Girls Read because they've been making merch for a couple of years with that phrase. It's not even a full sentence.
But so has everybody else.
It is actually. It is a full sentence. And the reasoning for it is because there were so many people copying her designs, and that's it. Like the actual reason for it is so lukewarm at best. It's pretty tepid, actually. And
not hot. It's lukewarm reads.
It's not heated. Reads. Not heated, not hot. And of course, the book internet has been rife with opinions on it, as we should, because this isn't actually what you should be using trademarks for.
Well, it's like it reminds me of like years ago when the Fine Brothers were trying to what were they trying to trademark?
React. They were trying to the word react.
They're like, stop. Like, even if you were the first one to do it, like, you can't, man.
Well, wasn't there an author a couple of years ago who was trying to trademark a phrase? I forget what it was. It was like, oh, I bet I could find it on Threads in 2 seconds.
She let out a breath she didn't know she was holding.
Yeah, close. It was like a word or something. Author.
I can't remember this.
I don't think I was aware.
I don't think
Hold, please.
Didn't make it to Canada.
In 2018, Felina Hopkins tried to trademark the word cocky.
Are you serious?
Is she a romance author?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
In 2018, romance novelist trademarking of word cocky sparks outcry. Felina Hopkins, whose works include cocky romantic and cocky cowboy, is said to have written to other writers asserting her right to the adjective in titles.
That's crazy.
Yes, I knew it had been like a crazy word, like something that literally everybody uses all the time.
Yeah, and the like connotation of the word cocky.
You owning it.
For a romance author.
Yeah.
Like wanting to own that.
Everyone's copying me, girl.
Girl, we just don't. There's just not many other words.
Yeah, we stopped wanting to say member.
That.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it got so big. The Romance Writers of America was working with an intellectual property lawyer in response to Hopkins's trademark and has asked writers contacted by Hopkins to get in touch because I guess Hopkins trademarked it and then reached out to authors.
People need to get hobbies instead of trademarking stuff, to be honest.
Or like write. Spend more time writing and editing your work because I've never heard of this author.
Yeah.
Maybe market.
No, I've never heard of that author.
Crazy. I came up with the word coffee. Did you, girl? Did you? I feel like
everyone thinks they're Shakespeare.
And that's what I'm
saying. You
saying.
didn't invent words.
No. Let the man rest, man. Let the man rest. That is crazy. That is crazy. Well,
yeah.
I think hot girl reads as a phrase because it's become such like a part of a vernacular of this subculture of people of like, yeah, hot girls do this, hot girls do this. I'm like, I feel like I'm surprised they let her trademark it in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious how any of that works.
I'm curious how strong the argument was. I also am curious, like, how hard is it to get a trademark? Like, is it? It's not like a patent. It's a totally different process. Watch, somebody's gonna be like, it's actually really freaking hard.
Yeah. Actually, it is. It's this.
It's really hard.
It's super hard. If you could trademark one thing, what would you trademark?
We were just talking about this.
I know. What would you do, Dee?
Ringette romance.
Ringette romance.
What would I trademark? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would honestly
owning things.
Like, who owns anything, man? I thought we were having this whole conversation about like.
I'd like to trademark a house.
Yeah.
Can
I trademark some property, please? Literally. I think like
I'd like to trademark a trust fund, I think.
Exactly.
I'd like to trademark a 1-bedroom apartment somewhere. Yeah. Please.
Wait, trademark the term trust fund, and then you can sue everyone who has a trust fund.
There we go.
That's the Canadian education system.
Now you're thinking like a lawyer.
Yeah. There we go. I think like if I were to trademark a phrase, like my most used phrase myself is respectfully. I will always start sentences like respectfully, which I feel like is pretty Canadian of me. Of like, I'm about to talk mad poop on somebody, but I am going to say respectfully at the beginning. Respectfully.
My latest phrase has been excellent news.
Excellent news. Heart.
Yeah. If someone just tells me something, I'm like, oh, excellent news.
I love that. So positive.
I don't know why.
Excellent news.
I did it to my roommate a couple weeks ago, and she was like, when did you start saying that? It's like, I don't know.
Been inside me forever. What about you, Bridge?
So my friend should trademark this, but she's put it into all of her vernacular in our friend group, where it's whenever someone will say like a random word or phrase or like crazy name, she'll go, that's a beautiful name for a baby girl. And I've been saying that all the time. It's like C.S. Lewis, Clive Staples Lewis, that's a beautiful name for a baby girl. Or like our editing software, Premiere Pro, beautiful name for a baby girl.
Beautiful.
Just in random parts of conversation. And I've been deeply enjoying that. But she should trademark that because I don't. I've been stealing her catchphrase.
You would be the one getting sued in this
exactly
scenario. That is so funny. Here we are today. Here we are on this fated Saturday to talk about
3 hot girls reading.
Oh, don't say it. The screen just goes to black. We've been shut down. 3 beautiful, beautiful, beautiful human beings coming together to speak on our Lord and Savior, Heated Rivalry.
Woot. Oh my god, wait, give me 1 second. I have the long game and it's at the bottom of this pile. Hold on.
I feel like ours are 2 different shades of blue, Danielle.
They kind of are on different sides, but it's because you reversed your image.
I reversed my thing. I don't know how I did
I
that.
was like, why are the men backwards?
Yeah.
What is going on? I feel
The
like
men do be backwards.
the men do be backwards, upside down, backwards, and side by side. Wait, everybody hold it up. It'll be our thumbnail. Get back in here.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. I have to put my books back.
Heated Rivalry has like kind of transcended just having a moment. It feels like it's become like a cultural wave of
100%. A
of
phenom.
a phenom as maybe like I'm interested to know, Deirdre, if it's like a Canadian versus a US thing, like because
Uh-uh.
and I know it's obviously popular in the US, but like I feel like in Canada we're like, yeah, this is our thing. The men
No, it's
playing hockey.
huge. It's huge. The watch parties out in LA, I was at it was like mid January. It was right after People We Meet on Vacation came out. I went to Cubbyhole with a couple of friends, and all of a sudden they start playing all the things she said. And the entire club lost their minds. It was incredible. I was like,
Love.
thank God, thank God. And the amount of times that's happened in like public situations since then, like at Cubbyhole, which is a gay bar, is or a gay club, is it makes sense for the entire room to erupt. But
Yeah.
then to be at like a handful of parties where all of a sudden it comes on as the background music and everybody stops and it's just like,
So fun.
you know, I think it has really transcended into like public consciousness more than anybody thought that it would.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was at a Bridgerton event. So a Bridgerton ball essentially in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this was my biggest claim to fame because I like wrote it on my phone and made the font huge and then
Yeah.
showed it up to the DJ to play all the things she said. And it was my crowning achievement. And she started playing it. An entire ballroom full of people like decked out in Regency period garb,
Yeah.
switched fandoms, lost their minds. And it was the highlight of my year. But yeah, like I think it's a Pavlovian response now. If you play that song,
Yeah.
heads will turn.
Oh, for sure. You just rip off whatever you're wearing and you're wearing a bedazzled hockey jersey underneath.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woohoo!
It's my superhero
Woohoo.
costume, actually.
It is. I just have it on all the time. Um, Bridge, we have to talk about. So
Mhm.
Bridge is for those of you who are unaware, where have you been? Bridge has become
No,
like
literally.
pretty synonymous with Heated Rivalry online, which is so fun and like kudos to you. Love this for you. But you did like a tour de force Ontario filming locations extravaganza. Can you talk about this,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah. Well, that was literally, it's so funny because that was one day. It was Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And yeah, Hamilton is about a 30-minute bus ride from
Yeah.
Toronto. So it's very easy to get there.
Yeah.
But I've only been a couple times.
Yeah.
Um, this year I've been several times. But all of that content that I gathered was one day where I was supposed to be having like a lovely date experience with my partner. And instead, just who also loves this show. So this was also part of the plan. Like this was her gift to me is like we're gonna have a heated rivalry Valentine's.
Oh.
And did like all of the set locations in a day, went to the restaurant that Rose and Shane have a conversation in for dinner, which was delightful. Shout out to Le Tour Tambour. What was it called? Le Tambour, I think that's what it was called, which is a beautiful French restaurant.
Beautiful name for a baby girl.
Beautiful name for a baby girl.
girl.
Tambour, tavern.
Timber.
Yeah. And yeah, I had this idea in my mind since the show came out. I was like, I can go find those things. And I think anyone who lives in Toronto or Vancouver, anywhere where things are filmed, that's kind of like an innate thing where you're like, I can see that building in the background. I know that where that scene was filmed. That's not New York.
Yeah.
That's
Not New York.
downtown Toronto. If you think it's New York, it's probably Toronto.
Literally.
And yeah,
And you know
there's
what? The only people that really can call it out are people from New York and people from Toronto.
exactly.
Everybody else is like, I buy it.
Mhm.
Big cities, lots of cars, must be somewhere.
And Deirdre, I don't know if you've ever been, but when they are pretending that Toronto is New York, they
Mhm.
will fully like change lamp signs and like
Oh.
and pull in New York taxis, which look
Yes,
very
on Bloor
different from
Street.
ours. And
Oh my God.
they'll get like a manhole gate thing, like, and you'll just walk out and you're like, where am I?
Wait, that's
They go full
awesome.
in.
It's
And I
crazy
can,
though.
yeah, it's insane.
I mean,
But
they do
yeah,
the same thing when they're filming like I accidentally walked onto the set of Maisel one time and they do the same thing where it's like you're looking one way at regular New York and then one side street it looks like a you stepped into a different time. They've changed the
mhm,
cars, they've changed the signs, all of it.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Hamilton was a fun time because basically all of it is filmed there.
Mm,
Like or anything that's like iconic. So the
okay.
Pink Tunnel,
Yeah.
Right.
Russia, like Ilya's house. Ilya's house in Russia, I'll say, is the iconic part of that sentence. Um, like, yeah, none of the, and then they filmed all of the main hockey scenes
Yeah.
at University of Guelph, which was my
Mm.
alma mater for 2 years, which also breaks my brain because I was like, if I was there a few years later, this is what would have been happening. So they've kind of just consumed my world. Like I feel like living in Toronto, you're living sort of in the middle of heated rivalry.
Right.
Yeah.
There's giant Hudson Williams posters in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
He follows you everywhere you go.
No,
His
he's
little
literally
Peloton.
around all the time,
You can't escape.
Good for him.
and I don't want to.
No. Good
But yeah,
for him. Love. Love.
Have you been, where is the cottage? I know they put the cottage on like Airbnb or something. Where is that?
yeah. It's in Muskoka.
Oh.
So it's like I did know the name of it and I'm forgetting. But yeah, it's on Airbnb and you can visit it, but I don't know if any of you I tried to book it when
Oh,
it went live on Airbnb.
nice.
It's called the Barlachen Cottage
Ooh.
in Muskoka. And I couldn't even move the website. It
Oh,
was sold out until like 2028
wow.
instantaneously. And then it was confusing because we thought it was going to be for a reasonable price. And then you apparently had to put a deposit down.
Oh,
My thinking is if I can find a cottage close to that cottage, I'll
right.
try and book it. And then you can like cosplay as Shane and Ilya's neighbors
Yes.
Yeah,
who are
exactly.
like, guys, keep it down over there.
Yes.
Put the windows to dark. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see, please.
No, actually, turn your lights on
Yeah, turn them
Yeah.
on. Lift the
In
curtains.
the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night.
I'm watching. I'm waiting.
I'm the loon, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You just hear us squawking in the middle.
Oh, good.
But yeah, that's a little bit north of Toronto. So
Okay.
I've never been to Muskoka, but yeah, there's a whole sort of trifecta. They triangulated. And I think for season 2, I've read somewhere that they're filming mainly in Toronto and maybe Montreal, which is confusing because most of it's set in Ottawa. But
hmm
but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, maybe you'll meet your boys. Maybe you'll meet.
I'm gonna have a hot girl summer.
Yeah, you are. A
Well,
heated
it's-
girl summer.
They're filming, yeah, Heated Rivalry season 2 in Toronto, and Beach Read at the same time in Toronto.
Oh.
Whoa.
You mean Beach Read, the movie that's not getting made?
That's not happening.
The movie that doesn't have a Gus Everett cast.
Listen, I've gotten rid of all of the sand in the city, so I don't know how they're going to do it.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
I've been hoping just to see it, and like if they're filming outside, like I won't be a shit disturber, but
Just walk by. Boo. In the
but
background.
if I can be in the background of the movie looking very disappointed, like just walking back, then
Yeah.
Would love that.
that's my contribution.
Yes, 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 yes.
But
Okay, so I am curious. I'm curious to know how each of us came to Heated Rivalry, but then especially from the like Canadian US perspective. Like how long were you guys aware of Heated Rivalry before it kind of like blew up on HBO?
Craving Canada.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Crave.
Crave and Crave Leave Trust. I think like I don't know, Bridge, if this was your experience, but like it was referred to as like the gay hockey show for much like for the lead up to it, and then once it was
Mhm.
released and people actually started liking it, um, not that people weren't liking it, but I feel like it became like more liked than it was controversial. Um, then people started referring to it as Heated Rivalry versus the gay hockey show. But I first came across it kind of through that, and then historically, Crave reached out to me. They were like, "Do you want to get merch?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So then I got a bunch of the merch, and then um, I wore my little merch and watched my little show, and then also then rewatched it with all of my queer friends. Be like, "Okay, get your week trial, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna binge it." And it's gonna be good, you guys. I've watched the show so many times with so many different friends, and that is crazy when you think of like the content of you're like, why do you want to watch this with your friends? But there is something very like it's just a great show. It's just a
Collective
great show.
community
Collective
building.
community.
It is
Yeah.
Exactly.
community building.
We're having a collaborative moment while we're watching these men fall in love.
Yeah. It's about the intimacy of the moment. You're watching just like human connection with humans you're
Ex-
connecting with.
No butts.
Exactly.
I'm not looking at the
It's
butts.
pure.
Yeah.
It is pure.
It's wholesome.
It's religious even.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a like similar to Danielle, but also sort of different. Like I knew of Rachel Reed
Yes.
years ago, just from working in the one place that covers Canadian books.
Right.
So, and my coworker is like the biggest romance reader of all time and has read everything. So she is like my go-to source for like what's zeitgeisty, what's in. I will say I've had to like total 180 because I knew of the books, respected that my coworker loved the books. But hockey romance was the one place I didn't want to go to.
Mm.
And it's nothing about, or like sports romance in general, because I've never been a sporty person.
Okay.
And I think it was particularly for Canadians with hockey, if you were not good at hockey, and if you were not interested in hockey, it became a moral failing.
Oh,
Literally.
no.
And so like I think out of spite, I avoided it for a very long time.
Okay.
And then I read Crash Test last year, which I told you about, Deirdre, last time I was on
Yes.
the
Yes,
pod.
yes, yes.
And that was the first like sports romance that I really loved. And so
Sounds
then
good.
it was really good. And I was like, oh, this is what you can do with the world here. And I'm like more interested in the world of the sport per se than
Right.
the actual sport. And then I dipped my toes in and I read Balcabra's hockey romance series. First book's like called Collide, and it's about
Oh,
like
yeah.
a college sports analyst who's doing a project, and it's with college hockey athletes. I don't know how hockey works in anything. But I read that and I was like, oh, okay, I could get into this. I can be open to this. And so it was really until last October-ish where I was hearing buzz about the press. I did not get the merch box, and I watched everyone online get the merch box.
Crave, are you
I was like,
listening?
what the
Reach
heck?
out.
That's okay. I make my own merch. I had a bedazzler and a dream. And no, yeah, I will forever regret to this day not, there was a bookstore event at a romance bookstore in Toronto called Hopeless Romantics
Mm.
with Rachel, Hudson, and Connor. And they did a signing. And I will forever regret not going. But I didn't know what I was about to know and who I was about to become
How would you
at
know?
that moment in time. I had no idea. And then, yeah, I think since then, like Danielle, I've watched the series countless amount of times. There was a solid month and a half, I think all of, like, from when the finale aired to early February, where I watched at least an episode a night.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Sometimes two, sometimes three. Like, and it's so deeply in my subconscious. And then, yeah, like, I think I reread Heated Rivalry 3 times in a week and then, like, binged through the series.
Yep.
And here we are.
And here we are. I am not super versed in the sports romance world, so it didn't surprise me that I didn't know about the books.
Mm-hmm.
What did surprise me was, like, right before the first episode dropped, suddenly I had like 5 people whose recommendations I trust and whose videos I feel like I watch pretty often come online and go, this was one of my favorite romances to read this year. And I read it like 6 months ago. And it was Heated Rivalry. And I was like, when? This is my first time ever hearing you talk about this online or in person. What are we doing? What? And it felt like the lead up to the show, like maybe a week before the show came out, all of a sudden, everybody was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was getting excited. And then the first couple episodes dropped. And I remember I watched the first 2 episodes. And then I started reading book 1. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to binge book 1 before episode 3 comes out. And that was the best decision I made. And it's been an obsession ever since. It came on hard and fast, and I've never left.
Yeah. And I think to, like, a degree that I thought at this age I had moved past a level of fixation. Like,
Yep.
it has truly consumed everything. I was like, I think I literally had a conversation a month before the show came out where I was like, yeah, I'm not like on Stan Twitter in the same way. Like, I don't fall in love with people, like, with celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's tamed down, and then it just unlocked some, like, feral being that I guess I had cornered away in myself.
Yeah, it feels like how I was back at like the height of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, bring me back to Twilight. This was like Twilight
You know?
Hunger Games era,
Yes,
literally.
that too. Yeah, Twilight, Hunger Games. Like back in my like fangirl era. I was
Literally.
like, oh my God, she's alive and well.
It's good to see
Yeah.
her.
Which I think has been really sweet, because I think that's an experience most people are having where they're realizing and coming back to fandom or experiencing fandom for the first time.
Yeah.
And realizing, like, how supportive and lovely it can be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what's been fun too. Is like, there have been so many people that I haven't spoken to in years who have slid up on an Instagram story or reached out because they also love the show, and it's just given us something to talk about again.
Literally. same.
Yeah.
And I will forever be grateful to it for that.
Yeah.
I think that kind of brings us into what our next question is like, why do you think Heated Rivalry popped off the way that it did? And I think part of it is this like invitation for people to go back to a part of themselves that they're like, I had to outgrow, or like, because we were very much I feel like the height of fandom when it was like the Twilights and the Hunger Games and the like dystopian and even like the Game of Thrones, like those fandoms, like it got to a certain point where I was like, you grow out of this. Like you have to stop like being obsessed with something, you age out of it at a certain point. But I feel like, yeah, here Rivalry has invited people like, no, it's fine. We can like things and be passionate about things. And you're like, oh my God, I can be. Kind of
Yeah.
nice.
I feel like it's like the perfect marriage of what people want. The specifically talking about the show,
Mhm.
it really highlighted how much people love romance media. Like there is inherently something about romance media that people latch onto, and especially in the way Heated Rivalry works, where there's like, will they, won't they? The yearning. We didn't even kiss. Like all these moments where they like drop you off at the end of the episode and then you're left for the next week to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And even in the binges, like those drop-offs still feel as like, I can't wait for the next episode. And then coupled with the music and the editing, and I got to hear Jacob and Rachel speak at BookCon, and there was one part of the conversation where Jacob was talking about like the nuanced ways in which you can show attraction. And because I think someone asked a question about like how are there any like directions that you give the actors in terms of like looking or like movement? And he's like, sometimes the like really small things where it's like, I looked at his lips or I like looked away and then looked back. Those moments are much better served from a directorial standpoint than from the actor. And he was like, the actor's job is to portray the like words and the feeling, and then the camera work and my job is to make sure that it's heightened. And I was like, oh my God, you get it. You are using every facet of the set, who's on it, and like what you have available to you in post to tell this story. And it feels like every single layer of it fit together and then was served to us as an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
And I feel like that on top of where we are culturally and like socially, it just was almost like the perfect time.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's also like what you're saying, Deirdre, that Jacob really understood the original text and had a deep love and respect for them.
Yeah.
Because I also read the series after starting the show, or like the first few episodes, and I was nervous about how it was going to
Mm-hmm.
own up. And I know there's been a lot of like discourse about how it differs and converges, but like the heart of the show is in the book, or the heart of the books is in the show.
Absolutely.
And you can tell that in like every time I've seen like Jacob talk about Rachel and talk about the source material and how this was his gateway book into loving romance as a genre. And yeah, there was just a deep understanding of what romance can be, and what he's talked about before, also like staying true to that and making sure that they went with a company that like was going to champion that and wasn't going to change any of that and wasn't going to make them wait until episode 5 to kiss or something.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what we've been craving. And then there's also just like I feel like there's a nostalgia to the show, even though everyone's like joking that it's a period piece, but it really is.
Yeah.
Like, and it takes us back, I think, to the moment where we were obsessed with Twilight or Hunger Games, like that, like the era that the show begins or ends in, I guess, for the first season, 2016, 2017 was sort of when like BookTube and all of that was in its prime.
Yeah.
And And I think there's something to that of like I connected with who I was in that period.
Yeah.
And to see them so dropped into that time period, Shane and Ilya, and going through this experience of love together made me feel more connected to it. I don't know what it might be like for someone who is younger, who wasn't like a teen or older, watching the show and how they connected to it. But for me, like the setting of it, like the time setting of it is actually really, really important. Like I think
Yeah.
it would have been completely different if they changed it and set it in modern times.
Yeah. Like if they had
absolutely.
moved it up so that like the end of season
Yeah.
1 is now, it
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it would have changed so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just connected to like Shane in particular in his coming out experience,
Mhm.
going through a lot of the same things. Like I was not a professional hockey player
What?
in the NHL in
You
2008.
weren't?
But no, unfortunately, I had to give up on that dream. Um, but but the like emotional beats of his story I connected with.
Oh, sure.
And I think a lot of people did.
Mhm.
Um, and so to see him in that character and what Hudson brought to it was really like deeply transcendent of a viewing
Mhm.
and reading experience.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, the way that everyone who made the show really believes in the show
Yeah.
Mhm.
and believes in the books is just like really encouraging at a time where I feel like there's so much discourse about romance. And I understand part of it. I understand that we're being fed a lot of romance that doesn't actually move things forward.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, but this is not that. And I think it
Yeah.
was so refreshing to realize that this was not that. This was actually something that could feel deeply empowering, and it was showing the best of what the romance genre can do.
Mhm. Love. And it also feels like a little bit of like a like I don't want to say underdog story, but it feels like there was so much up against it of like people like hockey is a very mm, toxic
Say
like
it.
traditionally like setting and like even with the origins of what the story is based on, I'll say. Uh, I don't know if it was ever confirmed or but allegedly like this rivalry between these two really famous hockey players,
Mm.
Ovechkin and Crosby, was what like might have inspired the relationship. But even like I remember growing up and hearing about this because it was what was talked about on like morning radio and like people being like, "Oh, do you think these guys are gay?" And you're like, "Whoa."
Oh.
Like it became um there's a huge connectivity of like um what is happening politically in this book at the time because it's a period piece and like what is happening now. I feel like even too like how we're kind of regressing back to how we are starting the series and then like to read the full series and be like, oh my gosh, liberation, beautiful. I love how these all these men and all these couples are able to come out and be proud of who they are and like embrace themselves, embrace their love for each other, and then to feel like, oh, well, wait, why are we regressing, you guys? Wait. Stop for a second. I feel like it's been a nice conversation starter, or at least like a self-dialogue starter of like, okay, why is this happening? How do I feel about this?
Mhm. And I think
There,
also just given me space to, discover parts of what I thought, and what is like a very toxic sport and industry, and find spaces in it that I can actually exist in. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
I've gotten really into the PWHLs
Yeah.
since starting the show. And it's like, yeah, there are always game changers. There are always people who are striving for better.
Yeah.
And I like to be an optimist.
Yeah.
And I like to live in that when I can.
It's a nice place to live when you can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want to talk about a little bit of like the phenomena of hockey romance a little bit. Like, it's been going on literally for much longer than it has been in like the television movie media. Um, but why do you think hockey romances why do you think hockey romances are kind of popping off right now? And like, what is appealing about hockey as a sport in these romances? But then also like comparing all these other hockey series because I feel like Heated Rivalry have its moment, and now Off Campus is having its like TV moment, even though it had its book moment, especially in book spaces many years
Mhm.
ago. But even like the Becca Max series, there's so many hockey romance series. Like if
Mhm.
you go into an Indigo or Chapters or Barnes and Nobles, I'm sure, there's like hockey romance tables, and you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of saturation in this market. What's going on?
I wonder if like psychologically, now I'm gonna get a little cerebral, everybody.
Do it.
Whoa, go in.
I think majority of us have an understanding that hockey is this like, I'm a man, I hit people, and I wave a stick around,
Mm-hmm.
like thing. And so then to put that in a soft place, like, and you get to peel back these layers of these people where they go do this thing for work or they do it at school, but then at home they are vulnerable and a person. I wonder if that just has a little bit more dynamic to it than maybe some other sports do. And I'm also curious, especially because of the like TV aspect of it between Heated Rivalry and Off Campus, if like visually people are finding that like hockey is just more entertaining as a like movement piece, like there's just more dynamic to it than other sports. Though
Action, yeah.
I think baseball could be kind of fun. Um, but similarly, like also kind of toxic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's my cerebral thought is that like big, I'm a man. I have feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I saw Rachel win a Hollywood Reporter Women in Entertainment Award last
Mm.
week. And in her speech, she was like, I'm asked all the time why we, why we think the series did well or like why people are responding to it. And she's like, it's never been a question to me of why, like, I've never been compelled to ask why people would be interested in watching men be vulnerable and yearn and, you know, love their moms and
Mhm.
have relationships that are complex and nuanced and also like have sex that's consent based, that's pleasure, that's mutually pleasurable.
Mhm.
Um, and I think there's one aspect of it of anyone who is a fan of the sport and coming to these books where you are seeing like unfortunately what is sometimes a fantasy of men who are able to open up and be vulnerable and have sex in really meaningful and vulnerable and passionate but also emotional ways.
Mhm.
Um, and then for me as someone who still can't follow a hockey game and understand anything that's going on. I'm like barely keeping up. I think the puck should be a different color. That's
Yeah.
my
Mm.
request. I can't
Like a
follow
tennis
it.
ball.
Yeah, it should be bright green.
Or like flashing.
or
Give me a little flash.
or flashing, and I know that would make it maybe potentially easier for the players, but it would make it easier for me. And
Yeah.
I think we should make hockey easier for me to enjoy.
Yeah.
Very much that.
But I think what I've been surprised with is to see the sort of like intimate connections in the sport. Or like this, do you know about this thing where like when two hockey players are fighting on the ice, everybody else has to buddy up so as to prevent like a tackle
Yeah.
or like everyone going into a full brawl. And so I've seen these videos where it's like two guys fighting while all of their teammates pick another person on the team and just like hug them while
Yeah.
they all watch. And I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And that's so incredibly tender and sweet. And so I found those things out through reading hockey romance,
Right.
the tenderness that they can have. And I think that's what also appeals to it. But yeah, back to your point, Deirdre, of like it's just seeing these big, burly men be vulnerable and sweet.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, anyone who's confused about why that's appealing, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Truly.
Did either of you guys watch The Mighty Ducks growing up?
Oh.
I heard of it, but I
I've
haven't.
also heard
Okay.
of it.
So it was on repeat. That movie series went platinum in my house. And there's one of the main things they talk about in the first movie and then also in the second movie, because in the second movie they get a female goalie, is you protect the goalie. And similar to the like buddying up system, the protection of the goalie is like the number one thing you do besides getting the puck in the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody touches the goalie. If they do, all bets are off. And again, there is like something so sweet about this like protection of your team that I feel like through all these pieces of media, and even if you are somebody that watches hockey and knows about hockey, you've sort of come to. And I'm just like, oh man, I wish I didn't know how toxic most of you were.
Literally, and I think like you bringing up Mighty Ducks is reminding me of like what sports shows was I watching was when I was growing up, and for me it was a lot of like dance, it was a lot of
Mhm.
figure skating, and it was a lot of gymnastics, which are all pretty solitary sports. Like yes, there are team components of it, and they would always be like, and as a club we're doing this, but at the end of
Right.
the day, it's you doing your thing for you. Which has its own inspiration and like what are you as an individual able to do and prove to others and like achieve on your own, but also there's something really nice about team sport, as silly as that is, but like that camaraderie and that like connection,
Yeah.
especially in spaces where like yeah, hockey as a Canadian growing up, hockey was like very polarizing. Like I know especially in Alberta because the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, like there's a huge rivalry between these two teams. And like if you said you're from Calgary, people just automatically assume that you're a Flames fan. And like we hate Edmonton people and we hate the Oilers for like no reason other than like the rivalry of the province. But it would like leach into like elementary schools where it's like there's like boys fighting each other and screaming at each other at recess. And that was like hyped up. That was like, yeah, that is what we do. We yell at each other and we hate each other. And so it's nice to see this of like, no, we're a community. We love. We're nice to each other. Right, Wally?
But let me tell you, you get in the stands and you are surrounded by the other team. Mm-mm. People are not
Full
nice.
brawl.
Full brawl. Because similar, growing up in New Jersey, it's the Rangers and the Devils. Devils are the New Jersey team, Rangers are the New York team.
Mm.
I recently went to a Rangers versus Devils preseason game. So like over a year ago. And usually there's like split stands, like you kind of know which side to sit on so that you're surrounded by everybody. But I think because it was preseason, it was a little bit more mixed. And the Rangers and the Devils people, man, oh man, I thought I was going to watch a fist fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's a
What are we
preseason
doing?
game.
Doesn't count for anything,
Calm
man.
down.
It's like kind of a scrimmage.
Yeah. And that's
And
the part
also-
I don't really like.
The Devils were beating the Rangers' ass.
Yeah.
I have no
I don't know. I
opinion.
haven't been to a Maple Leafs game in a long time,
Yeah.
but I feel what I've heard from those who have gone is that our fan base is quite more demure because we're just like accustomed to loss. So we're not fighting we just take it.
Yeah. Love.
Like we just run with it. But no, yeah, I think the intense fighting of the sport is my least favorite part. The unexpected sweetness is my favorite part. Like
Yes.
my favorite ad lib in the show is when Ilya, I think in episode 3, is after the game, he's going, I love you, I love you, I love you to every single teammate. And I'm just like, you're adorable. You're just adorable.
He's just our little mush.
Love.
I know. I want to protect him from everything.
At all costs.
True.
So, do we think there is another sport that would hit just as good as hockey? Or is hockey it?
I have been saying for the past year or so, or honestly the past 2 years, that the sport that we need more romance of is F1. At least in queer romance spaces.
Yeah.
Because I've been on my high horse about it, and it's happened granularly, but I haven't seen it boom in the way that I quite want it to, where I'm like, this is so much the world building. It's like the world building is there for you in the intensity of these rivalries within F1, in the long-standing relationships that they've had with each other, sometimes 20 years. Like everything is there.
Yep.
And I think maybe it's a harder one to adapt because that would require more VFX and things like that with
a higher budget,
a bigger car budget.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like I guess renting a college rink is just a little bit more attainable than building an F1 racetrack.
Yes. Which is funny. The one tidbit from, because it was when Rachel won that award last week, she did a conversation with Jacob, and he did mention that season 2 does have more hockey in it. Okay, cool. Which he told his AD, and his AD was like, what are you doing? Because they don't have, it's again, Canadian funded, like, so the budget is not that drastically different from season 1.
Yeah. So
they're going to be trying to do more hockey on the same budget. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, if that's a stretch for hockey, I don't know how much of a stretch it would be to fund an F1 film.
Fair.
But someone has the money to do it.
That's the thing. Like,
I mean, Disney just made that F1 movie.
Yeah, there's billionaires.
Brad Pitt.
Come on, you guys. I think I feel like a really like niche like bowling, like a bowling romance, or like just something so stupid, like not stupid. Bowling isn't stupid, but like I think like a really niche sport, but like that is really well researched would be very funny. And I would enjoy a lot because I feel like sometimes when I read sports romance, because I've read a lot. I got on my heated rivalry train, and then I kind of like choo-choo stayed on and have just been reading a lot of hockey romance books. But sometimes, like, depending on the author, like, it's really broad strokes. It's like, and then the boys, they win the game. And you're like, cool, awesome. there's something for me that would be really interesting of like a really well researched, like integral to the plot sports romance, like where the romance and like facets of the sport are just as important to each other. I think would be kind of fun. Or um, I think like um, I feel like um, we could also really get into like romance of like coach, like I'm coaching this like peewee baseball team, and then the rival coach of the other peewee baseball team coach, like coach romance I could also get into.
You're kind of getting into Mighty Ducks.
Okay, maybe I'll
Just
watch
saying.
it.
Just saying. I mean, it's kids. Like it's
Yeah.
the romance in it is so small. You're like
Yeah.
clutching, you're like
Yeah.
what's the word? Pulling at straws,
Grasping for
whatever.
straws.
Grasping
Yeah.
for straws.
Yeah.
And it's with a mom from of one of the kids.
Of the one thing. Is there the Mighty Ducks fan fiction?
Oh, probably. There is probably Mighty Ducks fan fiction. Are you kidding?
Pull up the tab.
Okay,
Uh,
303.
I mean, I feel like Challengers showed us that
Yeah,
tennis
could
is
be.
sexy.
Yeah,
I mean, tennis is. I
absolutely.
love watching tennis. Um, and similarly, I feel like Challengers and Heated Rivalry had like the similar elements going for it between
Hmm.
the music, the
Hmm.
production value, the like director who very much understands like shot for shot what is going to tell a good story
Hmm.
and good acting and good writing. What a
Yeah.
concept having those in there too. Um, I'm curious with Deep End coming out
Mhm.
if the like diving is going to be interesting. Um, I don't know.
Danielle doesn't look sure.
I've just Deirdre and I have talked about Deep End. It's not our fave,
It's
Allie
not my fave.
Hazelwood.
I haven't read it yet.
Don't rush to.
Okay.
Respectfully, don't rush to it. Um, it's yeah, it's got a lot. I think it has some structural issues of like I don't think the sport is the part that I like least. I
Hmm.
think like the actual romance and like I like actually less. Um, but yeah, it we'll see if diving kind of takes off in the same diving and swimming.
Hmm.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
I
Yeah.
think you hit the nail on the head there about, I think, these trends, though. It's less so about what the actual sport is
Right.
and more about the athlete and
Yeah.
what they're embodying. Because I think
Yeah.
it's like the trend with with challengers, with heated rivalry, is that you have these really intense thinkers and like
Yes.
passionate athletes that they're
Hmm.
passionate about their sport, and so it translates to passion of other sorts.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, yeah, like it's less important to me what the next trending sport is and more about like you could drop any of those really well-written characters
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
have that those tropes of intensity and rivalry into different areas and have the same sort of landing effect.
Well, and
Yeah.
like the internal rivalry of like my love for
Hmm.
the sport is coming up against my love for this person and like having to like not sacrifice either, but how those things kind of like bump up and rub against each other of like um if I want to be successful at this or have a
Hmm.
successful relationship, can these things exist together and how does that look?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah,
which is kind of what the whole Heat Rivalry series explores.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I think there's so many different ways you can take a sports romance. Like I love a like secret that's going to come out just because I think it does add so much tension to a romance. But I think what off campus kind of does really well is they have to sell the fake dating and they have to make it believable that they're in a relationship to other people. And that is like so different from what most other sports romances are doing, which is like, do not show what's happening behind closed doors. Like,
Yeah.
if this
Hmm.
got out, blah, blah, blah. And so I do think it is about like the hands it's in. Like, what are you going to do to make the character and the sport marry to tell a compelling story?
Did either of you watch Marty Supreme?
No, he made those ballet comments and then I had to not.
I was about
That's
to,
fair.
and then he made those ballet comments, and I was like,
That's
sorry,
fair.
bud, you're
I
not
said,
getting
I
my
watched
money.
it before the ballet comments, but I will say it's like that movie's about ping pong, and it's not
about ping
necessarily
pong.
it's not necessarily a romance, but you do have an intense sportman at the center of it
Yeah.
who's so passionate about ping pong. And
Right.
my one critique of the film, because I did actually quite enjoy it, was that he
Yeah.
should have kissed his rival ping pong player. He never did.
Mhm.
That's how you end ping pong
And
matches, is you smooch.
100%.
Bitch.
Missed
I mean,
opportunity.
Queen's Gambit. I
Yeah,
never thought I
chess.
would have been so like over chess.
So sexy. So sexy. So much
Very
sexual
sexy.
attention. So true. Yeah. If the characters and the relationships and the stakes are high enough, the sport is like the fun background, the fun like set dressing to this relationship.
Yeah.
So get a little crazy out there, authors. Write us that ringette romance.
Seriously, I will be
Right.
there.
Yeah, write us the cornhole romance. Something
Yeah.
No, I'm
crazy
like
like
thinking
more-
through I'm thinking through all the Olympic sports because I love the trip to the Olympics and heated revelry. I'm like, give me a trip to the Olympics, you
Curling.
Oh my
guys.
gosh. You know what we need is the
What?
double luge. The double luge
Yes.
romance. What the heck?
Yes, the fact that has to exist. Somebody has to have written it
If it doesn't,
Guys.
we need to get on.
because there are some like we have read about people boinking in the sky.
Yep.
Like they are
Mhm.
flying with their fae lover
Yeah.
in the air. What about a luge?
What about
And a
luge?
double luge, they sit on each other.
They lay on
Exactly.
top of each other. Crazy.
Have you seen the tweet that's like, this sport looks like it was someone walked in on something they weren't supposed to see and they just had to like run with it and fly.
No, we're practicing this. It's
We're practicing for this new
Practicing.
sport we invented.
really
It's
important.
called double luge.
Called double luge. That's so funny. Yeah, I think like the crazier, more niche sport, the better. I think that would be so fun. I would totally read that just for. I love people who are passionate about weird stuff. Bring it to me. Bring it.
Javelins,
Yeah.
Javelin.
the high jump,
High jump. That would be fun.
jumping into love.
Speed walking.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me a Highland Games. That has to exist. Somebody
Oh,
has to
yeah.
have written that one.
Like a lumberjack game, something like that. Like
Oh.
really fun.
I
American
could write that
Ninja
one. I think I still have
Warrior.
the videos on my phone from when I went to go see that in Ketchikan.
There you go. I would read that. Like I know
That
myself.
writes itself. Let me tell
It
you.
does. I'm like a big burly dude, sure. Or like beautiful strong woman, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I want more sapphic sports romances. I'm still upset that we lost A League of Their Own. Like speaking of
I
of good
know.
baseball, softball romances, like that was so good,
Yeah.
and I need more.
Yeah. Because it'll like I think maybe what I hope Heated Rivalry has done is kind of put a foot in the door for these bigger companies to start greenlighting projects that maybe they didn't think would be as successful as they would have been 20 years ago. Like
Yeah.
I hope they're like lots of cool projects can ride this wave for a little bit and we can get some cool TV.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of segues into our question. Do we think another type of queer couple could have the same impact?
I hope so.
I hope
And I
the
hope
answer is
that they're
yes.
sapphic.
I would hope so. I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it might like I think maybe there's something to be said about like depending on the dynamics of the couple, like pairing the sport to that, like seeing what the dynamics of the relationship is, seeing like facets of it, and then being like, okay, what sport best highlights the tension between
Mhm.
identity versus like who you are and who you want to be or whatever. That might be interesting. I think it would be. I've like the Kindle Unlimited space has everything under the sun and like fan fiction has anything under the sun. So you could truly like there is something out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I don't think anything will ever replicate exactly what Heated Rivalry has done and
No.
what Shane and Ilya's dynamic is. I think that's incredibly unique and that's been
Yeah.
really frustrating in all of these like comparison conversations about like off campus, for example, where
Yeah.
it's like these are two different things. Yes, they're playing the
They're
same sport
two different couples in two different scenarios.
and like completely different genres
Yeah.
of what they're trying to do. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it's the same genre, but it's different. And Heated Rivalry is so singular in the way that Jacob told the story
Yeah.
that, and it was just like this kismet of all these beautiful things. Like you had two actors who had insane like soulmate energy, and
Yeah.
we didn't know them either. They were unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
And you had this production that was fully behind it, and you had this story that really understood how to use romance as a plot device and a narrative device and
Yeah.
run with that. So I don't think we can ever replicate that, but I do think that this has given people the spark of inspiration they needed in a lot of sense to write that thing that they don't think would sell.
Right.
Like, yeah, to just not care about that and just kind of go for it. And so I don't know that I've read honestly anything of late that meets that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit frustrated with the romance genre in general right now because it just seems to be like we're not taking the time to edit things.
Hello.
But I do think that we'll start to see in the next couple of years things come out of this response to the show, and hopefully more authors will be brave and more showrunners will be brave.
Yeah. I think something you just said, and we've kind of hit on a couple of times, is the having the people championing the project because they really believe in it is, I think that is what the secret sauce is.
Yeah.
You know, like I think you could take a pretty mild book, but it has good bones. And if you have people behind it that are willing to like make the script the best it can be, put people on the project that are going to give it their all and really championing good storytelling and romance at its best, that is what's going to make it successful.
Mm-hmm.
Get us in the writer's room.
Yeah,
Put me
literally.
in, put
Well,
me
Get
in,
us in the
coach.
prediction.
That's what I feel like also there's been this like I feel like YA as a space is way more willing to try to write queer coupling versus adult romance. So,
Mhm.
hey, any romance writers out there, people are ready for it. So, and there's definitely a market for this new adult queer space that isn't like also just about like having to hide who you are all the time. Like we can have like
Mhm.
openness and prideness and happiness. Um, okay. How Bridge and Deirdre, how
This question's not for me. This question's for Bridge.
yeah, I know, but
What are you about to ask
I wanted to keep you included.
You're about to read the question, and Bridge is going to be like, Deirdre could not have answered that, actually.
I know, but I just wanted to make you feel included.
Thank you for including me.
What do you think was so like the Canadian response, the specifically Canadian response to Haven Rivalry was really, really warm. Like to the point that like very famously, our prime minister took a photo with Hudson Williams and like very silly. Like, why like what about the Canadian spirit do you think highlighted and like connected with this show?
Deirdre, do you want to say?
Yeah, please go ahead, Deirdre.
I think
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been so awesome to see how much it's been a Canadian show. And I don't know if you felt this as well, Danielle, like, or you, Deirdre, as well. Like, whenever anyone tries to claim like on HBO or that it's like we're like, no, it's Canadian, and you remember it's Canadian, and you remember that it's my tax dollars that are paying for this.
Exactly.
Like, um,
I wish my tax dollars would pay for something like Heated Rivalry. Are you joking?
yeah. I mean, my tax dollars are going to different places, not just Heated Rivalry. I wish I could actually just funnel
Just
it
funnel it,
to, like,
yeah.
I feel like
Elect.
directly to the show. Like, I would like to pay for the Zamboni in season 2. Thank you.
Oh, hell
Thank you.
yeah.
Like, it's definitely that aspect of it. And I think that's something so cool that Canada has always had about prioritizing Canadian content
Mhm.
and having funds like this, having funds like Ontario Creates, and um, like anything that channels into the arts, making sure that they're casting a certain amount of Canadian actors and that there's a certain amount of Canadian people on the crew because there's so much talent up here, and also because like everyone comes up here to film too. I think there's always been a spirit of protecting what is ours,
Mhm.
and I think this show came out at a time where Canadians feel incredible, like elbows up. We feel very emboldened to protect what's ours
Mhm.
and be like, this is our creativity. This is what we're able to do. And also always be weird with our content. Like if you look at Canadian shows for the
Weird.
most part, weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you went back and watched any of Letterkenny, which is Jacob's
Mhm.
sort of first
Yeah.
series. Bizarre, like in the way that we speak, in
Yeah.
the way that we like joke with each other, and all of that is in this, and I think that's what people are resonating with. Um, and it's made me feel weirdly patriotic, which is not is not always the case. Like
Literally.
Canada is not without its own problems for sure, but it's been something that we can all rally behind. And it's been really, really funny, honestly. Like being in Toronto specifically and working in Canadian media, everyone is obsessed with this show. like I mentioned that I was covering the Canadian Screen Awards, and it was hilarious to see every single like press person who was trying to keep it together in the presence of the cast and remain professional.
Mhm.
And as soon as they left, everyone was just like, okay. Which is so lovely because you just have all of these like professionals
Yes.
who are just the next generation of coming from fangirls. We all are fangirls, and we can keep it cool, but also like it's just been really lovely to have like heartthrobs coming out of Canada that
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling has made the scene as well. Like people are paying attention to the fact that they are Canadian and hiding that aspect, and less so hiding that aspect. I feel like there have
Yes.
been a lot of like Canadian talent that have had to sort of not intentionally by themselves, but like felt pressured by the industry to move to America to,
Yeah.
kind of separate that part of your identity.
Right.
And now we're seeing the like inverse, which is cool.
Yeah, I agree. There's always been um a pride in Canadian culture of like when one of our own is doing something sick, everyone's like, hell yeah, that's my guy, that's my guy. Um, there's like a almost like a familial like we connect to people of like, yeah, this um they're always Canadian no matter where they go. Like
Mhm.
I uh when I was in school in Toronto, I went to a musical theater uh, college. And one of the girls I graduated with, she recently booked SNL. So her name's Veronica Soyakowska.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh my goodness.
yeah. So I went to school with her and we graduated together. And so it's been something like very beautiful of seeing her journey on top of this like heated rivalry where I'm like, Canadians are doing cool stuff and like can proudly and boldly be Canadian. And uh, it says something about them other than just the fact that they come from Canada. Like there's something about them that feels Canadian, which is fun.
Yeah. And it's
But
exactly what you're saying, Danielle, of like I'm trying to like I explain this to my friends who are big fans of the show and live in Paris.
yeah.
And I'm like, because we used to be in fandom spaces together and we were like, oh, these people feel untouchable. And I'm like, these people are like a degree or two away from
No, the way I am like, I could walk into a room with Hudson and Connor at some point this year is actually so scary to me because it could happen. Like it is not a fantasy that I'm living in.
no.
Like it is a very
Yeah.
real reality. And I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Literally.
Like I'm scared to wear my merch out because like half of the cast lives in the city. And this summer, I'm just gonna be like, okay.
We're just like
So
lurking
where are
outside of
you?
like hockey rinks, like just waiting. Just waiting.
I'm gonna do live reporting and I'm like, this is what could be happening inside. And I'll just read the book.
Yeah, like Bridge on the
Exactly.
Street, so fun.
Bridge on the Streets, like reading hockey erotica.
Yeah. Bridge on the Streets, Freak in the Sheets. Get it going.
That's what I should trademark.
That's
That's what you should trademark.
That's pretty good.
Just to circle back.
Yeah, hey, it's all coming together.
all coming together.
What is everyone's most rewatched scene from the series and then most reread scene from the book? I know what
Okay.
my most rewatched scene
You
is.
go first.
Is that not
I
right,
think
Jason?
I have two. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Um,
But I think I have two.
Okay. My most rewatched scene is the tunnel scene because it's so different than the book.
Wow.
Because in the book, it's just literally like, and he talks. And you don't get to hear what he actually freaking says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love, and it's so beautiful. And then the snow, and you're like, oh my God, it's just so perfect. But also like Connor's acting in that scene is really freaking phenomenal. And like, from just like a technical standpoint of like how even if you didn't have the subtitles on, you would be able to understand what he was conveying and how like it's a really 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 beautiful scene. So and also people make really freaking cool edits of that scene, so I feel like I've watched
Yeah.
it a lot because of the cool edits.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Noah Kahn to Willing and Able edit of that scene where he goes, I wish you could know me, and it's paired with him with Ilya saying, I wish you could know me about his father. Because
Mhm.
okay, you haven't seen it, I'm gonna send it to
Send it to me. What the hell? Where have I been?
you. It devastated.
Devastating. Devastating. And my friend Alice has talked about it a couple times, but she posted on, I think it was like Close Friends right after that episode came out. She speaks Russian. She is Russian. And she was like, I am so wildly impressed with the translation
Mhm.
of what he's saying, like what they did in Russian and how it translates to English. She's like, it is incredible.
Yes.
Like it is so good. I do love that scene a lot.
And then I think book. Oh, but then also the TV show, but also the when Scott Hunter's like, and then it's like, and they kiss. I watched that one a lot too. You guys
The
remember
beautiful rendition.
that? Thank you. don't know the words. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I
That
do.
scene
I know
also I
exactly what you're
rewatched
talking
a
about.
lot because, and then I'm coming to the voltage.
Yeah.
It's just very iconic. Reread the series. I feel like I've reread Long Game more than I've reread Heated Rivalry because I feel like I'm like really excited for the like evolution of their relationship. Um, but like, oh my God, spoiler alert. I guess we can talk about spoilers a little bit. In the Long Game, when Ilya is calling Shane after something very spooky happens. I'm trying to be vague.
I just read that part. I'm so glad. I've already read it.
I was like, oh, oh. My little hurt comfort heart was like, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. I love it.
I'm not ready for that scene to be in the show. I think I
That will
will
be
need
my most rewatched scene. I will rewatch that more than I have watched the Grey's Anatomy shooter episode, which is probably my most rewatched episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Why?
It hurts so good.
Well, honestly, it's probably like the same emotional effect as that one scene to that entire episode.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that made me laugh.
Yeah. I think out of all the
I love that
traumatic
that's your
episodes in Grey's Anatomy, that is probably my most rewatched episode. If I want to
Yeah.
feel something, that's what I'm putting on.
so funny.
I mean, not
You're
anymore.
not
Now, if I want to
wrong.
feel something, I put on Heated Rivalry.
Yeah,
So,
well, but you're not wrong. It's like when, which is I feel like why her comfort as a theme as a tag has gotten so popular because people want to feel deep and hurtful emotions, but in a safe way. They're like, I know this person's gonna take care of me, but like I'll be able to feel the breadth of this. Um, I'm just, I love that. That's your most rewatch. It makes me very happy. That is so funny. Um, what was your most rewatched scene in the show, Deirdre?
I think I have two. I think
Okay.
it's a tie between the lead up to and then, but we didn't kiss. I have rewatched that so many times. I love it so much. There is like, it amazes me how much emotion is in that quite literal 2 seconds of TV.
Yeah.
I'm like, um, and then the amount of times I've rewatched the club scene. I love the club scene. I love it.
So good.
Um, I am reading The Long Game for the first time right now. So
You haven't
nobody
read
come for
it?
me. No,
Oh my God, I
I'm
didn't
like
know.
halfway
She's been
through.
playing the long game.
She's
I have been
playing,
playing The
and
Long
that's a
Game.
beautiful name for a baby girl.
Indeed.
And I think what is going to be my most reread scene is in The Long Game. And it is a moment where Ilya is telling Shane that Hayden told Ilya he had hard eyes for Shane. And then he goes on to like mimic his heart bumping out of his chest. And he's like, that's how you make me feel. And I was like, oh my God, season 2 is going to actually wreck me.
It's not going to be good for me.
And I'm so
Financially, emotionally, it's not going to be.
reading The Long Game is making me so excited for season 2 because I just
Yeah.
know it's in such good hands with Jacob, Hudson, and Connor. And I can't wait. Like I actually need to be on set right now.
Yeah.
Literally. Well, about
So
you,
those are mine.
Bridge?
I feel like I get in trouble for the scene that I rewatched.
No,
Go
what
on.
is
Completely
it?
honest.
Go on.
But I would say honestly, like the montage at the one singular shot in episode 6 when they first get to the cottage. Like they filmed it continuously from them
Yes.
getting out of the car into the cottage,
Yes.
doing the little tour. My favorite line of the show, which is Shane going, I have a well. You can see it. Um, and then them like kissing and being intimate for the first time all the way to the couch. And like one, and just the way that that was shot
Yeah.
so continuously and so intimately. And then it just fills me with rainbows and sunshine because it's the first time that they've been like holding their breath for like years. And this is the first time they get to let it go.
Yeah.
And just be with each other and be honest with each other. And those two are just like so good at intimate scenes. I feel like I've heard a lot of people talk about this of like, I can't watch other kiss scenes anymore and be like they're fine. They're
Yeah.
all right.
No,
Yeah.
like I'm watching Love Island right now and I'm like, ugh,
Stop.
gross.
What's
Stop kissing.
happening? Like, yeah, they really unlocked something that was just never been done before.
Literally.
So, yeah, episode 6 is my most rewatched episode because it just makes me feel like I'm cuddled in like a warm ray of sunlight.
Yeah.
And then my most reread scene is a scene that I had. I think, are you past chapter 12, Deirdre? In the
That's
long game?
It's a great question. Let me look at the audio.
Page
That's how I read it.
128.
Subchapter.
Yeah. I'm in chapter 25.
Okay, great. I had her sign this chapter because it's the spoilers. It involves 2 plastic rings. I'm going to say this for those who've read it, you'll understand. It involves 2 plastic rings and perhaps some babysitting. And oh my God, when I read that for the first time, was in tears.
Yeah.
Just tears. Like she captured everything that like I want in my life. Like, it was like beautiful about their connection, and I'm a sucker for a wholesome scene, so I go back and I reread that when I want to feel something.
Love.
That's a good one.
That is a good
Mhm.
one.
That was
That
another
will
one where I
also
was like,
devastate me.
whoa, that's going to be so good to watch.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
I was
I'm
also like, what kid actors do I know that I
Yeah.
can get involved in this
you
project?
guys better. You better get
Invite Auntie to set.
Not only get invited, you have to be their guardian on set.
Exactly.
child wrangler, truly. Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello. I could be their on-set teacher. We could be getting a thing going here.
I believe in it.
Yeah.
We could be
I feel
getting-
like we've kind of covered this in this last run through. Is there anything else we haven't talked about that we're excited about for season 2?
I'm excited to see how they integrate like one, the camp, but also like
Mm.
the characters that we've already seen that
Mhm.
that Jacob has established so much more in them. Like Svetlana's not really in the long game in the
Yeah.
books, but she's also a completely different character.
Yeah.
In the books to the show. So I'm interested to see how like she plays into it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, all of the centaurs that we're gonna see, the new guys.
Literally. I'm interested and excited to see how the other couples from the other books are integrated into the show, if they
Mhm.
are integrated into the show in any way. Because I know like the one of the guys was like the bartender, right? Is the bartender who they're like, thanks, da da da, in the first episode. Isn't he?
Oh yes, yeah.
You know what I
okay.
mean? He's
I thought you were talking about the bartender that flirted with Shane, and I was like, what?
no.
Yeah.
In the first episode, when they're at the bar that then eventually gets owned by
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Right.
he's one of the romanceable
Oh,
Yeah.
male.
yes.
Kyle.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Kyle, thanks, Kyle. Um, But I was like, okay, so like, yes, these characters do exist in the world, but are we going to get to see any
Mm,
amount of their relationships? Because there are so many. Like the world,
yeah.
like the book series really fleshes out the world. The TV series
Mhm.
feels like it's being like zooming in on the specific relationship, which I think makes sense. Like I think
Mhm.
if they were to do a Bridgerton style, like every season's a different book, I don't think it would be um telling the story people want to see right now. Maybe like
Right.
Mhm.
after they're done telling the Ilya and Shane story, they can go back. But um I
No, I
like
think
the little Easter eggs.
I think the integration like they did with Scott and Kip worked so well.
Yes,
Like it just ended up serving the story
so
better
good.
than giving them their own season. I am interested to see because Long Game feels so different from Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
Um, in multiple aspects, but particularly in the like passage of time and the like we get to see so much time in Heated Rivalry where so much time passes between Heated Rivalry and Long Game. I'm interested to see if we get to see that in season 2.
Mhm.
Like, are they going to do this time jump and just drop us into the beginning of Long Game, or are they going to spend a little bit of time getting us caught up to where they are at the beginning of Long Game?
Yeah.
Another montage. Put it in.
Yeah,
Well, we didn't get the epilogue from Heated Rivalry
right.
where Hayden and the dinner happens. So I feel
Yeah,
like I've been speculating maybe that's
where we
where they
start.
could start. Um, I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they
I
will
think so.
sneak
I'm
some
also
stuff in.
very excited to see like the Shane friendship because like the first season we got like bits of Hayden and Hayden is very very sweet. I really like that character. But I'm excited to see more of the male friendships in the show.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Bloom and blossom because that's also a really interesting part. Like the romantic relationship, but also these male friendships that are very tender
Mhm.
and very sweet and very kind. Like calling to ask about your wife and the kids. You're like, oh, you guys,
Yeah.
stop it. That's so sweet.
And also Hayden and Ilya, I'm going to be
So
sad.
excited.
I'm
I'm
so
so
excited.
excited.
True. True.
I
True.
love how much they hate each other.
Yep.
But they love
It's
each
gonna be
other
so
in the
good.
end because they all love Shane.
I
Exactly.
love Shane. Well,
Heartbreaking.
Bridge, thank you so much for chatting with us about Heated Rivalry endlessly. I feel like there's so much more
Thank
we could talk
you.
about. Before we get going, should we talk about some current reads?
May we?
Yeah.
I can go
I did watch
first.
your video this week, Bridge, and I did laugh because I was like, well, I'm about to ask you, so can't wait.
Uh,
Ready
I'll
for
go
it.
I'll go first because mine's pretty simple, but in preparation for this episode, I read the last book in the series that I have not read, Role Model. That was the one that I skipped
Mm.
because I was just like really needed to get to the long game. So then I was like, even though Role Model and Long Game happen at the same time. So it's been nice to go back and see bits and pieces, but I started that a couple nights ago and it's so great to be back in the universe and
Mhm.
I love.
I love
Paris
love.
is such a cutie.
He's really sweet. And the dogs.
And it dogs.
I've been dog sitting my dog this week. My mom was out of town and Stanley just had eye surgery. So he's like been
Mm,
in a big cone. So I'm like
no.
reading the cute dog and then sitting with the cute dog. I'm like, oh my God. It's just too
Wait,
much.
Danielle, Stanley should play Anya in season 2. This is how we get in.
This is how we get in. My 13-year-old Boston
It's never explained what kind of dog the
Terrier
dog
and
is.
who's almost lost an eye. Put him in.
Put him in. Come on,
Put him
Stanley.
in. He would do it. He would be very cute.
Yeah, that would be
Perfect.
really cute.
Stan is in. You're gonna wrangle some kids. I'm gonna teach some kids on set. Deirdre, we're gonna get you there. We're gonna get you there.
Put me in the costume department.
Oh, easy peasy. You're probably the
Easy
most qualified
peasy.
person
Put me right
to be
in.
on set. Anyway, that's what I'm currently reading, and it's fabulous and it's
We hope.
wonderful. And I truly think it'll be one of my favorite in the series. Some of the um the whole series is wonderful, but I feel like I definitely have like favorite couples where I'm like, I like the story or this means more. Uh,
Mhm.
Troy and Harris, I think, is that correct? Yes. Um, I like their dynamic, so I'm having
Mm.
fun. And that's it.
Bridge. What about you?
Okay, the last actual book that I read was completely different. I have it here. Very big segue. It's called On Earth as It Is Beneath by, I'm
Yes,
sorry, everything's um reflected in my
it's the right way
screen.
for me.
Okay. By Ana Paula Maia. It's
Mm.
a Brazilian book that was just on the International Booker Prize. It's
Mm.
literally 100 pages to the dot, and it's about this isolated prison uh, of men on an island that's kind of been abandoned and not thought of. And once every month, the warden hunts them for sport underneath the full moon.
Ah,
And
spooky.
I I picked it up and sat down and read it in one sitting because it's so short and was
Mhm.
like hooked, line, and sinker. It was insane,
Wow.
but like incredibly well paced and well thought of, and just like a really thinky book. So yeah, and as Deirdre mentioned, I'm always reading multiple random things. So there's a social media AU on Twitter. I don't
Okay.
know if you've heard of this, of um, Shane and Ilya,
Huh.
and they're fraternity brothers
Love.
who only hook up when they're drunk because they're not out. And it's been an ongoing smow, but it's been part social media AU and also part prose, which is how I like those because I can't just read all text messages.
No,
That's not going to
Yeah.
work for me.
no.
Um, and it's like been weirdly emotional of a journey. It's not done yet, but like we're at a place
Huh.
now where they finally admitted their feelings and Shane's had his coming out experience. And it's just I'm like, wow, I'm very invested in this. And all of Twitter and all of the fandom seems to be also very invested in this. It's called okay, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
It's called the Blow Draw Bros.
Obsessed.
I will be looking into this.
Obsessed. Is
It's
it only on Twitter?
incredible. It's only on Twitter. There is a Google Drive link. I can send that to you.
Perfect. Thank
So
you.
sweet. Thank you. That is crazy.
I did mention I'm currently reading The Long Game, which I'm loving. I'm listening to the audiobook of that. I also just, and by just, I'm like in the first chapter, fell asleep reading it. She Became the Sun. It is like tucked way back there.
Yeah.
I was listening to the audiobook of that. Finally, I'm gonna finish the Sapphic Trifecta many years too late. Um, and then I just finished Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. Uh, it was fine. It was fine, you guys. It's a space political intrigue with an arranged marriage, and the which I did not know that part.
Okay.
I don't think I actually knew anything about the plot besides that it was romance in space.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
It's all you need. Basically, there is a couple and they are a politically advantageous couple. They were married. They've been married for several years. One of the people in that couple, Tham, I think that's his name, dies. But his partner has to be married to someone from Tam's nation for this like treaty thing to happen. So Kim, also think that's his name, uh, is like many people down in the line of succession to like take this place, but because of Tam's death, he becomes the next in line. So the emperor is like, you have to marry Tam's husband
Okay.
tomorrow
Okay.
because we have to
Mhm.
get this treaty signed and all this stuff. And I was on board for the arranged marriage. I was on board for the like trying to navigate their feelings. They like they both can't figure each other out. But there is so many layers to the politics of why they have to get married and why they're like not being accepted as ambassadors and like what happened to Tam. Was it an accident? Was he murdered? Who murdered him? And getting to all the answers was just a little too convoluted, and both of the main characters don't know anything about the politics of the world.
Mm.
So they have to get told so much about the politics from other characters to understand what's going on that I was like, I'm not buying it. You have to, I feel like in that
Yeah.
situation, you have to have at least one of the main characters that really understands the politics
Yeah.
to aid the reader. Because I got to the end and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think they love each other. They say they do. I don't know what's
I'll
going
take their word for it.
I'll take their word for it.
I guess so.
So I probably won't be reading book 2, but I am glad I finally read it many, many years later.
Yeah, that's also been one that's been sitting on my shelf for years that I don't know why I haven't
just
gotten
kept looking at it and I was like, okay, it's time. Now's the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
So with that, we have made it to the end of our episode. Thank you so much, Bridge, for joining us once again. We love
Thank
having you back
you.
on the pod. If any of the listeners of today's episode are not following you, which would be a shocker, where can they find you?
So I am at Bridge Likes Books on TikTok, and then Bridge Likes Books with 2 S's on Instagram.
Love.
Someone took the username.
Perfect.
So that's where I am most of the time. I'm trying to post some more content and actually speak to camera again. So I'm holding myself accountable on the pod to do that.
Love.
Excellent. And please be sure to check out CBC Reads. They're doing some great stuff over there, so make sure you check them out. If you made it to the end of this episode, please head on over to Books on the Brain Pod on Instagram, and you should leave us there has to be a hockey emoji,
It's a
right?
hockey stick, I think.
Yeah, there's a
gotta
hockey
be.
stick and a puck.
Perfect. You're going to leave us the hockey stick emoji to let
And then
us
a
know you
flame.
made it.
He did Rivalry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Flame, hockey stick.
Yes.
And then we'll know you made it to the end of this episode. While you're on Instagram, if you're not already following Danielle and I on our own personal accounts and you want to stay more up to date with what we are doing, I am at Deirdre's Digital Diary on Instagram and TikTok. I'm still Deirdre Rose Morgan on YouTube, and I'm Enchanted Echoes on Bindery.
And I'm DJ Books on TikTok, Instagram, and on Threads. And this is Walnut.
Walnut.
Does
And
Walnut have Bookstagram?
No, but sometimes she does make cameos in my work.
with that, we will chat to you in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Wave, girl. She can't wave. She doesn't know how. She doesn't have thumbs.